All right, so I'm here with one more of our ambassadors, and today we're going to be talking about being gracious. And really, gracious means having gratitude. So, can you kind of help us define or understand a little bit what does gracious mean? What is gratitude?
Being gracious means that you're thankful for big things or little, and not like, oh, I'm so thankful I have this. Like truly putting thought into what you're thankful for.
Yeah, it's really the. Do you think you can tell when people are being honest about what they're thankful for?
I think I can tell because sometimes people are like, oh, yay, I got this brand new toy, but then sometimes they act a little different when they aren't grateful, but then you act really excited if you actually are grateful you have something.
Oh, do you think? Do you think people can maybe sometimes fake being grateful?
Yes, I do think people could fake being grateful. Well, obviously it wouldn't work that well, but you shouldn't fake being grateful. You should be grateful for everything you have. And even if it's not like that good, you should still be grateful you have something.
Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned like big things and little things. So give us some examples. What are some things that you personally, just for you, are grateful for, that you're gracious about?
I am gracious that I get to go to such an amazing school like this.
No, that's nice to hear. Thank you. I'm going to say thank you right now. I love to hear that. So what else are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my pets. I'm grateful for my house and all my family.
Nice. And you mentioned you're grateful for school, and I'm so glad you did because for me, school is really important too. But I feel sometimes people forget how important school is. It's important to be here with friends. It's important to learn new things. It's important just to grow into the person that you're going to be, right? Um, Sorry, I'm kind of thinking. And don't, these parts we'll just edit out. I just snip them and cut them out, so don't worry. Um, so you've got some big things and some little things that you're grateful for. Um, and we talked about that, yeah, people might be able to kind of fake it. One of the things, actually, I'm going to start over. Edit that. Don't put that in there. We talked about possibly faking being gracious. And let me give you an example because I know sometimes like we have a birthday party, let's say, and this might be something that you've had to do too. And you've already had your birthday with maybe your parents, and then you have a birthday party with friends. And so you open a present from one of your friends, and maybe it's the same thing that your parents already got you, right? But you still put a smile on, you still say, oh, thank you so much, right? And you don't say, oh, I already have one of these and toss it aside, right? Because you still want to be gracious and be grateful. You don't want to hurt their feelings. So really, you can kind of fake being gracious, but aren't you still thankful that they brought you the present, they thought of you, and they're there at your party?
Yeah.
So couldn't you still be really grateful, even though, yeah, you got a second present, but you know what? The present isn't really the big thing, right?
No.
What's the biggest thing in that situation?
The biggest thing is probably that your friend thought about you and they cared about what you wanted. And even if you already got that same thing, you should still be gracious that your friend really cares about you enough to like go out and buy you a present.
I'm so glad you said it. Is so cool that people think of us like that. And sometimes, again, that's one of those things that we take for granted, right? The
Yeah.
little things that we kind of forget how important they are. Our friends are really important to us, right? So we have lots of friends at school. You get to work together with kids in the classroom, go play on the playground. What are some things that you and your friends do that you would say maybe that you are gracious for?
I am gracious that me and my friends we can go outside and play on the playground and just have fun and laugh together and do all that kinds of things.
Because back in March, we couldn't do that, could we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was no fun. So I am certainly grateful for the fact that we are in school and I get to see you guys. Whoops, as I bumped my camera, I apologize. As I get to see you guys and see other kids and see people come through the door. And even though I can't see smiles, I can see it in their eyes, right? You can see it. You know when people are smiling still. So as we finish this up, because I feel like this is a big deal, but it's also really hard to talk about because it's also a very small part, right? What are some things that you would be grateful for in your classroom, either that you get to do during the day, things that you're grateful that your teacher gives you, or grateful that you get to learn about? What are some things that you're still grateful for every day right here at school?
I am grateful that about math mostly because all the kids are like, including me, are like, oh, math, I don't want to do this when we get an assignment, but I'm grateful that we have math because if we didn't have math, we wouldn't be getting a good education, and if we didn't have a good education, we wouldn't be learning anything.
You know what I always like to tell kids about math is, how are you going to know when you get older and you get a paycheck, right? How are you going to know if when you go to the bank you got the right money back? Right? Or you go to a store and somebody gives you the right change. How are you going to, if you don't know numbers and you can't go up, I mean, honestly, even into the hundreds and thousands, because trust me, when you get older, you're going to be making thousands and thousands of dollars. If you can't count that high and do those things, how are you going to know if people aren't taking your money and ripping you off?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you've got to have some, even just some real basic math skills, but math is so important. Just like reading, though, too, right? Because you got to be able to read menus, read street signs. I mean, all that stuff is reading, right? Or what if you buy a new thing for your house or a new toy or whatever it may be? You got to be able to read how to make it work,
Yeah.
right? What about, let's talk a little bit about teachers, because we got a lot of teachers watching here too, and kids are watching it with their teachers. What are some things that what makes you thankful for? I'm going to use the word thankful this time instead of being grateful. How thankful are you for teachers?
I'm very thankful for teachers because teachers are the reason we learn. Teachers are so inspiring and they help us to become the great people that we are when we grow up.
Man, I couldn't have said that. I mean, oh my gosh, that was so fabulous. Teachers, did you hear that? Pause for a second and make sure. So give a quick shout out. Who have been, and don't name all of them, but maybe one or two of your, because you've been at Beartooth since kindergarten, right? How long have you been here?
Grade.
Since first grade. Okay. So from first grade to fifth grade, give like two, and if you want to do just one, that can be okay, but no more than two. Who are your favorite two teachers that you think kind of made the greatest impact on you that you're most thankful for?
This is a hard one. I have so many amazing teachers. My first, I have to say, Mrs. Brammer. She was an awesome teacher.
Awesome.
I loved her. And it's so hard to choose. I have so many great ones.
Sorry, maybe I didn't give you a fair question, huh? So let's just leave it with Miss Brammer. How about that? That would be
Okay.
like maybe your favorite one. And again, first grade, what a great grade, right? Where you kind of learn everything. I mean, kindergarten sets the stage, and first grade, everything comes around to where you start really learning how to read, learning how to do some more math stuff, and adding and subtracting is really solid now in first grade. That is so great. So I think it'd be good to finish right there, but I'm going to ask you one last question. Thinking about home, because I always try to draw a link between school and home. So you're thankful for your teachers, you're thankful for all the things your teachers have done, to be at this school, for the moments with your friends, and certain subjects in school that maybe you're more grateful for than others. What are some things you're grateful for about home?
Like you said, I take things for granted, like probably a lot of people do. I am grateful for having such an amazing family because my mom takes such good care of me, and I kind of take her for granted too because she takes such good care of me and my brother, and I think we should appreciate her more. And I am also so grateful that I have such an amazing brother because he is inspiring. He can be, well, just a brother.
Yeah.
But he is truly awesome, and I just love him, and he is a really important piece of my life.
What are some things that you have at your house that you're grateful for? Even if it's maybe just the littlest things that, again, you're talking about maybe taking for granted, or maybe even some other nicer things that you are really appreciative of.
I am appreciative of my clothes. I have so much clothes, and of course that's worth a lot of money to my parents and everyone who buys them for me, and I take that for granted a lot. And I'm also thankful for my hoverboard. I got it last Christmas, and it always dies on me, and I get so upset about it. But I'm so grateful that I have it.
Nice. And one of the things that I think of sometimes, and again I take for granted once in a while, is even just having my own bed. Like having my own bed to sleep in, because I know some kids that honestly don't have their own bed. Some kids share beds. Some kids don't even have a bed at their house, like they sleep on a couch. So I think it's really important for us to always remember that it can be the littlest of things that sometimes we forget that we have that we need to really be thankful for. And we would say then obviously that we're grateful for them, or showing that you're grateful is what it means to be gracious. So what are some ways that you show that you're grateful to teachers, to friends, and to parents? This will be the last question. What are ways that you show that you are, because when you show it, you're gracious. When you're thinking about it or you're talking about it, you're being grateful. So how do you show it and be gracious?
There are so many emotions and expressions that show being gracious, but I think the best one is just kindness. If you get something or you're just grateful for what you have, you could walk up to the person who gave it to you and you could just be kind to them and be like, thank you so much for getting me this. Kindness is truly the best thing if you're grateful.
And we're going to finish it right there. That was so good. Thank you so much for coming down and talking to me. I appreciate it.